Hello and welcome to another episode of this game dev diary for my roguelike project. Left you last time when we created the rats or little green dinosaurs that they also look like, but they're definitely meant to be rats. So we created them, they were walking about, but there was a few mistakes that some of you might have spotted. Because we used the custom pre-made wonder behavior, when we hit a rat it didn't always get pushed away, so we just added an extra wrapper in that said if you are hit, don't do the wonder movement, actually push you away. So we've got that in now, as you can see that it actually does push the rat away. But if we look, if the rat hits us, we don't get damaged, we just start kind of breakdancing and spinning, which it does look kind of cool, but it would make for a very fun game. So what we want to do is kind of build up a player health behavior. So with that in mind, I've created an actor type. Again, this is from the Oryx Design Labs Roguelike sprite pack. We have a full heart, we have a half heart, and we have an empty heart, and that's going to be for our graphics user interface. It's going to be the health display. So we need to create a scene behavior, and it's going to kind of be the kind of controller for the health. So we'll call it player health, and then we'll create that. Okay, when it's created, we needed to create the hearts so we can see how much health we have to start off with. And I've already created a game attribute called player health, and it's a list, and it has a starting value of 6 and then a current health value of also 6 at the minute. So we need to then do a bit of math to create the right number of hearts. And to start off with, we're going to say that the hearts are worth 2 health points. So we need to create a loop. So it's the bit for a loop, and we need to do it half the amount of times that we have for the current health value. So because each one's worth 2, so we'll be dividing by 2. We need the player health, and we need the list getter. Get item, that'll be 3 from player health, and we need it as a number. And because we can have a half full heart at the start, if say your health value was 5, then you would still have 3 hearts, but only 2 would be full and 1 would be half full. So we need to get this operation and do the ceiling of this value here. Oh, and then why are you doing that? Stop it. Stop it. Here we go. So we need to repeat that amount of times, and we need to create the heart actor. So create health hearts, add an X, and we'll say 5 plus current loop count times by how wide the health heart is, and the health heart is 11 wide, so it's going to be 5 times 11. 5 plus the current count times 11, that should be our X value. For our Y, we'll just say 5. And what do we need to do next? We need to tell each heart what its value is. Well, it's the first heart that's been created or the second heart that's been created, so we need to create an actor behavior for the hearts. So we'll call it health. Oops, didn't need to click in there. Health heart behavior, and we'll create an attribute and we'll call it heart number. And it's going to be a number. So and we're going to, so what is it? It's an attribute. We want to set it. So for last created actor, set that attribute, what do we call it, heart number to, and it's current loop +1, because I think the loop count starts at 0, and we kind of just want to tell it that it's the first heart. So rather than heart number 0, we want to say heart number 1. So that should hopefully get us creating the hearts, and we want the hearts to be a sensor so that you can't actually bump into them. So if I test this, fingers crossed, well, I need to attach it to the scene, so it need to be attached to all scenes our players are in. So level 1, and then we go to behaviors, and we'll say player health, choose. So if we test it, keeping our fingers crossed, it should create hopefully 3 hearts in the top left hand of our scene. Yay, we have 3 hearts. So what we need to do then is tell the hearts to change their animation to the full or empty when we bump into a rat. So rather than breakdance, we want it to hurt us. Cool, so come out of that. So what we want to do then is when a rat collides with, so what behavior's got for the rat? So enemy health / damage event. So we'll call it rat attack. I think that's Pokemon in it, or Rat-a-tat, or is that long? But I might be showing my nerdiness there. It might be a Pokemon. Anyway, rat attack. Pretty sure it's Rat-a-tat or something. Maybe not rat attack. So what we want to say then is when it collides with a player actor, we want to do an event that says we need to take some health off the player character. We also want to say that it can only happen, we don't want it to be able to like do multiple collisions, so we want to wait a while between each collision. So when created, we want to say, we'll call it invulnerable time. Invulnerable time. I'm gonna say number. I'm gonna say that once you get hit, you're invulnerable for a second. Set vulnerable time to 1. And set in fun. So that's no, spelled both of them wrong, I think. Invincible. IMV. No, well, that might be inverse. In fun or able. Is that spelled right? Hopefully. Oh dear, don't have spell checking this, and then can't even spell easy words. So we want it to be a Boolean, and we want it to say it is false to start off with. And if we want to say is when a rat hits a player character, if this really should be in the player, if the player is invulnerable rather than a setting on the rat. So we're going to take that out. Because you could get hit by 2 different rats at the same time. So we want it to be a player setting, not a rat setting. We really want just to have a flag when a player hits a rat to see if he can be hit. So we want to create an event, and it's for the scene. So trigger event. Trigger event. We'll call it rat hurt. Rat. No, let's call it damage done. To prevent damage done in behavior. What's called player health, I think it's called. And we'll say we need to tell it how much damage to do, so we'll say for the scene set, and we'll call, we need to create an attribute, and we'll call it amount of damage. Amount of damage. It's going to be a number, and we'll set it to 1 to start off with. So for this scene, set player health amount of damage to 1 for behavior player health. Sounds good. And what we need to do then is go back to player health and say when damage, that doesn't look right, damage DO, I swear my spelling is absolutely atrocious. So what do we need to do? Player health and advanced event, and it was called damage done, and who knows how I spelt it. Fingers crossed it was that. Looks about right. So when damage done happened, we need to say, we need to change animation in the hearts, so need any change, that's a boolean, and we're going to set it to true. Need any change and set it to true, so flow, it is in flow for true in it, yep. And then we need to go into the heart health behavior. We need to do it looking to see if the need any change is true. So what we want then is, and we set it on a timer where I'll probably do it every 10th of a second. So if any check that's a number, so if, no it's not, it's a boolean. If any check is true, we want it to have a wee look to see if an animation change is needed. So flow. Oh, hold on a second. So sorry about that, had a phone call that I had to take. So I think we are in the middle of doing a timed event. So we were saying if any check is true, then we want to set any check equal to false. And we want to say time to after 0.1 seconds, set any check equal to true. Now there might be a better way of doing this, but I haven't figured it out yet. What we want to do then is set, I create an attribute and say heart need any change. It's going to be a boolean. we're going to set heart need any change to, and get need any change from player health. Okay, so that's one part of it done, and we'll go on and do another part in this video and probably leave finishing it off for the next, because it's quite a long process doing a health system, so break it up over 2 videos. So we need to say then if, and we need this one, getters heart need any change is equal to true. Then we need to find out what is the active heart. So if, and then we need to say heart number, and it should be player health created. It should be the same as this, I think. So for this paste out, right? What we're missing, the ceiling off. No, 5x2, and it is just ceiling off. So copy this over, set it to ceiling. Here we go. So if heart number is equal to that, is it ceiling off? Yes, it is. So if heart number is equal to that, whoops, why does it keep doing that? Stop doing it. Stop it. Stop it. Then, so if need any change is true, and then we set need any change to false. Need any change to false. And then we also need to tell for the scene set the need any change to false for that. So we need any change to false. So in the next video, what we'll do then is go in here and figure out what needs to happen when we do need an any change. So we'll have the 3 animations of heart full, heart half empty, and heart completely empty, and then we'll have a switch for that, and then hopefully we will have a basic health system implemented, and then we'll figure out a way to do it if we want to take off more than one bit of health at a time. Okay, thanks for listening. As always, if you have any suggestions about the game, or you want to add in a sprite or create an enemy or have an idea for where an enemy should be, drop that in the comments and think about including it in the game. Hope you've enjoyed listening, and speak to you soon.